Hey, what's up, guys? Mikael Bennett here, and I want to welcome you to my podcast. This is the first episode of Rehab Your Credit. And throughout this podcast, what I want to teach you guys is how to start fixing up your credit super fast, right? How to start understanding the fundamentals of credit so that you can then get over to the business side of credit and start leveraging that to actually start building wealth. There's no reason for you to be living in America in 2021 not having good credit when everybody has access to fixing their credit, and then not actually having access to business credit. Everybody should be trying to get on the business side of credit, getting an LLC so that you can take advantage of these large lines of credit that don't affect your personal credit so that you can start investing in this stuff and building wealth the way you should be, right? So, in this first episode, you guys are going to see how I like to do it. I don't have my glasses on, right? So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into my computer so I can actually see, and I'm going to give you guys this training. So what we're going to be covering today is 10 steps to great credit, right? 10 steps to building, fixing, and leveraging credit like a boss, the way you should be in 2021. So the first 10 things we're going to be covering today is, one is going to be the fundamentals of personal credit. And also what makes up your credit score, how it all works, and how it actually affects you. What affects you, right? The fundamentals of credit. The next thing we're going to be covering is 2 things that you can do right now, today, to boost your credit score in the next 24 hours, right? That's going to be super beneficial to a lot of people. Another thing we're going to cover is how to actually freeze the secondary bureaus that a lot of people don't know about. These secondary bureaus, they actually house our information so that when we dispute things, the bureau can go to them to verify the information. So I'm going to show you how to freeze it so that your information can be unverifiable so that you can dispute and actually win your dispute and remove the negative items on your report. I'm also going to teach you guys how to spot negative items on your credit report. A lot of us don't even know what our credit score is and what our report is made of. I talk to a lot of people every day, right? And they'll be like, hey, look, can you look at my credit? I need it fixed up. I got these 2 things on it. We'll pull their credit on Identity IQ, and those 2 things will turn into 10 things, right? So I'm going to show you how to read your credit report and how to spot the negative items that you find on there, right? The next thing we're going to talk about is how to dispute to remove the negative items. Not just dispute them just to dispute them. I'm going to show you how to dispute them to remove the negative items, okay, on your credit report. Next thing I'm going to teach you guys is how to understand the Fair Credit Reporting Act and the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. These are the 2 laws that have been put in place by the United States government to help you and I, the consumer, against the credit bureaus and collection agencies, right? So I'm going to teach you what these laws say, what they mean, and how can you start using it to leverage against them to remove items on your report. The next thing I'm going to teach you guys is how to avoid getting a bunch of hard inquiries when you go and apply for a car, when you go car shopping, right? A lot of people run into this issue when they go to the dealership, they run their credit a bajillion times. I'm going to show you how to get around that, okay? So that you don't be collecting up all of these hard inquiries. You go to the dealership, bossed up, ready to get what you want, ready to negotiate, right? They're no longer pulling your tail, you're pulling their tail, okay? The next thing I'm going to teach you guys is how to build positive credit once you've removed all the negative items on your report, because that's very important to building your credit score, is having positive credit reporting on your report. This is actually 30% of your credit score. And a lot of people I see, they actually don't have any positive credit. They have a lot of negative credit, but they don't have any positive credit, right? So this is very important. I'm going to show you guys how to start adding positive credit, right? And then actually, one of the most important things I'm going to be talking about, and that's why I'm keeping it towards the end, because it's very important. I want you guys to stay to the end, is I'm going to talk about one of the most powerful wealth hacks in our society today, which is business credit. I'm going to show you guys what you need to do, what you need to have in order to go get yourself on the side of business credit, right? So that you can start getting a lot of money that's not affecting your personal credit, so you can really start investing into things, cars, real estate, whatever it may be, your brand, right? Whatever you have in your mind that you want to invest into, I'm going to show you how to get the capital so that you can go and invest into it, right? And the last thing that I'm going to be giving you guys is the bonus. I'm going to give you guys 4 personal credit cards that you can go get today, even if your credit is trash, right? They're not going to pull your credit report, so you're not going to get a hard inquiry. and they're not going to look at your credit report. Like, right? So this is a win-win for everybody. So make sure you stay tuned to the rest of the video. I'm going to jump into my computer right now, and let's just get into this training. All right, guys, so let's jump into the training today. Today we're going to talk about how to fix bad credit, how to build good credit, and how to leverage it like a boss the way you should be in 2021. I believe that everybody should have good credit, and I believe everybody should be leveraging it. Why? Because in American society, you know, this is one of the resources that every one of us has equal access to. But if we don't apply it, a lot of this information is hidden in books, and a lot of us don't read books. We don't apply it. And I believe it's vital for people to take advantage of this stuff and take advantage of credit because, like I said, it's a resource that we have that not everybody on the planet has access to. So you got to tap into it. So let's jump into it. So you might be asking, who the hell is this dude? Who is this bull? Like, why should I listen to him, right? Why should you listen to me? So I'm going to just tell you a little bit about myself. A few years ago, I would say about 4 years ago, I actually couldn't get approved for anything. I couldn't get approved for a house. I couldn't get approved for a car. I couldn't get approved for a credit card, right? And what really hurt me was I couldn't get approved for a house or an apartment that I needed for my family, right? Because I didn't have good credit. I had no history, and all the history that I had was negative. And I actually got access to the place that I live right now. We have a house that we rent. And I got access to it solely off of social influence because I had a YouTube channel and I was able to show revenue based off of what I was doing to my landlord. And then what she actually did was her and her husband, they went to our YouTube channel and they fell in love with us. And they were like, you know what? You can live at our property. We know what you're doing. You'll be able to pay it. Boom. Cool. So, and I needed to get out of the situation I was in because at the time I was living in this rundown apartment with me, my fiance, well, she wasn't my fiance at the time, my girlfriend, and our one son at the time. We now have 2 sons, right? Weston and Braxton. But I had basically been a serial entrepreneur my entire life. The last job I worked at was Pizza Hut for $2 and $3 tips. I was kicked out of my first college, dropped out of my second college. It all started, basically, I started an ice cream truck business. And as you can see in the bottom picture, that ballooned into basically jumping into the online marketing space and creating a digital marketing agency with my girlfriend, my fiance at the moment. We've been able to basically travel the world and help tons and tons of different people grow their business and understand how the whole digital marketing and social media marketing works and be able to help them to grow their business. But one of the things that I realized, and it also hit me, was that a lot of people were not able to scale and grow their business solely because of lack of finances. And what I realized was that we didn't actually need to be using our own money. All the business owners that I looked up to and all the business owners that are in my circle that were older than me, right, that had more influence, they never were using their own money. They were always using other people's money. And that's when I realized, like, yo, I'm never going to put my family in this situation again. I'm going to master the credit game so that I'm going to be able to utilize it, but I'm also be able to empower my kids and the rest of my family and people that I care about around me to be able to start utilizing the whole credit game, okay? So that's why you should pay attention to me, because once I started utilizing this stuff, I actually increased my credit score now over 300 points, and I increased my fiance's credit over 225 points in a really short amount of time, right? Once I did that, I actually realized, like, hey, I might have a gift. And I went out and I started a credit repair business, and I've been able to help over 250 people improve their credit score. The average rate of improvement for our clients is about 125 points, not 200, 125 points. And people are in love with the service. I realized how much people need this service and how many people don't know about credit and how many people have messed up credit just like I did. And it's not hard to fix, right? So let's jump into the rest of the training. So let's talk about the foundation of personal credit. What is credit? So I have 3 quotes right here. Credit is the ability to borrow money or access goods or services with the understanding that you'll pay back later. To the extent that creditors consider you worthy of their trust, you are said to be creditworthy or have good credit. So essentially, it's I'm going to let you hold this as long as you pay it back if, like, I know that your word is good. Another way to break it down into a simpler term, this term has many meanings in the financial world, but credit is generally defined as a contract agreement between a contract agreement in which a borrower receives a sum of money or something of value and repays that lender at a later date, generally with interest. Okay? So the last quote is, credit is part of your financial power. It helps you to get the things that you need now, like a loan for a car or a credit card, based on your promise to pay later. Working to improve your credit helps to ensure you'll qualify for loans when you need them. So basically, credit is super beneficial if you need anything that costs a lot of money and you're not able to pay for it out of pocket and you're going to need to finance it, and you need to actually start focusing on your credit before you actually go and need those things, because you're going to run into a bunch of speed bumps. How is your credit score calculated? So our credit score is calculated 5 ways. The most important is your payment history. So if you have any late payments or anything like that, that's going to be inside of that 35%, and that's going to really bring your score down. You got to think about it. Out of the 850 points that you can possibly have, 35% of them is based off of your payment history. So if you have a late payment or you have multiple accounts with late payment, your score is going to be dramatically lower than it could be, just based off of that. The next most important thing is your credit card utilization, amounts owed. So if you have a credit card, and the limit is $1,000, you don't want to spend over 30%. Once you spend over 30%, you're going to start seeing it hit your credit score every single month of reports like that, and your score is going to drop. So you want to make sure that you keep your utilization under 30%, but you want to keep it under 9% every month if you want your score to grow. So what we do is we pay it off every single month down to 0, because it's a revolving credit line. The credit is going to come back to you, okay? The next most important thing is your credit history. So they want to see the length of age that you have credit for. So things that this is good with is student loans, mortgages. That'll definitely help you grow your age. And credit cards that you have open for a really long time. If you have any credit cards and you're not using them, you should not close them. Just don't use them, but don't close them. Make sure that you at least keep them active. If you have to spend $1 or a couple dollars every single month, do it to keep it active, because you want to keep these positive lines on your credit report. It's good to have a bunch of positive lines. The next thing you can see is mix. That's credit mix is 10%. So they want to see that you have some installment loans and some revolving credit lines. So you want to have some like a car loan, a mortgage, a student loan. Then you want to have some credit cards, okay? And they say that they want to see you have at least 10 accounts, right? 10 accounts. So, that's why it's important to keep those open credit cards. Even if you're not using them, keep them open so that you can have that amount of accounts, at least 10 accounts, right? And then the last thing is new credit. The least influential part of your credit, but it can be very nagging, because that's where the inquiries are. So if you have a bunch of inquiries on your report, it's going to make you look needy to lenders. They're going to make you look like you need money. So a lot of people, they go to the dealership, they got a lot of inquiries on their report. You definitely want to remove the inquiries. If you don't have an account tied to that, then you can remove that inquiry. So you definitely want to do that. So yeah, let's move on. What your credit card utilization should look like. I just went over that, but you should pay them to 30% to stop your score from going down every month. And then if you want your score to go up, you want to put it to under 9%. I have 1% here. Let me change that for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect. I meant to put 9. All right. Okay, cool. So you want to keep it under 9% for your score to increase. 2 things you can do to boost your score today. Okay, so one of the things you can do is literally look at your credit card statements, okay? Look at your limit, and then get your utilization to under 9%. First, if it's not under 30, you need to get it to under 30. If you get it to 9 by the next, not the due date, by the next statement date or the next day that it reports to the bureau, if you get it to under 9%, your score is going to go up the next time it reports. And then another thing you can do is get added as an authorized user. If you have any family members, any friends that have a good credit card, they got a good limit, they've never had any late payments, their utilization is under 30% or 9%, then you want to ask them, hey, can you add me as an authorized user to your card? You're not going to get access to the card. Only the person who actually is the card holder, they're going to get a copy of the card sent to them with your name on it. But they could just cut it up right away. You're not going to affect their credit whatsoever, right? It's only going to help you to get the positive history that they have on their credit report added onto yours, and this is going to boost your score up right away. I've seen, like, yo, I'm not even going to give you a number. That's why I'm not even going to give you a number. Just know that when you add authorized users to your credit report, it definitely helps you out, and it helps out your score, right? I'm going to talk about it a little bit more later on in the training, so you just stay tuned. So how do you repair your credit? The first thing is you need to look at your account and you need to figure out what are the negative accounts. Negative accounts are collections, charge-offs, late payments, judgments, evictions, student loans that are in default, child support, repossessions, right? These are all things that are negative on our report. And to be able to dispute these things and get them removed, you have to understand the Fair Credit Reporting Act and the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. And I'm going to break them down to you as simple as this. The Fair Credit Reporting Act is the act that says that everything on your credit report needs to be 100% accurate, verifiable, and consistent. So when you're looking at your credit report and you see information like maybe they're missing a payment that you had, well, that's not accurate. That's not 100% accurate. And that could actually hurt you when you go and apply for stuff, because let's say you have perfect credit, but for some reason they're reporting that you have a late payment. That's going to really hurt you when you go and apply for something. So you want to get that late payment removed, right? And the Fair Credit Reporting Act is what you're going to use to dispute that. Like, hey, I definitely paid this. This is inaccurate information on my credit report. Please update it immediately. Another thing is the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. This is the law that helps us against collection agencies. So a lot of times collection agencies, they have a lot of I call it predatory practices, and they like to harass people. So this law actually protects us against them if they're doing anything illegal, if they're reporting anything illegal. Most collections are illegal. Let me just tell you that, because you never signed a contract with them. So a lot of times they're trying to hound you for a debt that they're not even supposed to be hounding you for. So you can use that in your dispute. Like, hey, I never signed up with you guys. I have no recollection of this account. Can you please verify that this is mine? If not, then delete it. Chances are they're not going to be able to verify it because you never signed anything with them. So here's a look at a negative account that would show up on your credit report. This is actually a collection account. It says it in the account type. If you ever see a collection and it has a past due amount, then that's something that you want to dispute with the credit bureaus. And I'm going to show you guys a sample letter in a little bit of what you can use to send in to the bureaus to dispute this stuff. But one thing I want you to look for is, you see the date last active? The date last active is different on each of the three bureaus. So what we would do is we would actually write a letter to the bureaus and saying, hey, TransUnion, you're saying that my date last active was 12/20/2020 or 12/27/2020, but Experian is saying 2016. I don't know which one of you guys are correct, but either way, it needs to go. And you would send that in to both of them, actually all three of them. You would use one bureau against the other in your letters saying that this is being reported by this company, this is being reported by you. I don't know which one of y'all is reporting inaccurate information, but it's inaccurate, so it needs to go. And just ask for them to delete it. Don't ask for them to update it, ask for them to delete it. Now, another thing I want you to see is, you see how it says the date last active was 2016 on one and on Experian, but then Equifax and TransUnion say 2020. Well, what they're trying to do there is something called redating, right? What collection agencies like to do is when you don't even know, they'll change the date, because collections are only supposed to stay in your report for up to 7 years, 10 years in some states, not very many, but they'll try to actually change the date so that they can keep coming after you even past that 7 years. So you got to pull your credit report so that you can even see this stuff, right? And a lot of people don't pull their credit report until it's time to go get something. It's crazy. Right here, we got another negative charge-off you want to look for. And I would basically dispute this the same way. I would look for inaccuracies across the three. Like, once again, I believe the date last active is, the date last active is totally different on each one. The date of last payment is different on some. They opened is different on some. Yep. So those are and then also the credit limit. Actually, on Equifax it says the credit limit is 0. There's absolutely no way that the credit limit could have been 0 if it was an open credit card at a point. So that's something I would dispute with them as well. And just make sure that whenever you're disputing things, you're using different reasons each time. Like, you don't want to say send in a dispute saying that the open date is messed up, and then they don't fix it, and then you send in another dispute saying the same thing. You want to change your reason every single time. And here, as you can see, it's a positive account, all green. Everything's green, right? So we don't want to touch this. We want to leave it as is. We want to make sure that we pay it. It's actually an authorized user account, but nonetheless, it's still a positive account, okay? So when you want to dispute these negative items on your report, the first step is sending in a debt validation letter. And you can actually ask me for one of these if you don't have one, or you don't, for some reason don't want to type it up. I actually be having a course coming out where it's going to have all of these letters in here for each bureau so that you can just, plug and play and just send in your dispute. So the debt validation letter basically is stating the law that, hey, look, what you're doing is you're asking the credit bureaus. You're asking the credit bureaus to verify any account on your report that you put on this list, right? So any negative account that you have, the first step is making them validate it, making them verify that it actually is your account and that they have all of the information to prove it, right? And I'm going to show you how you can actually make the information unverifiable so that they can't even verify the information so that it's gone. All right, so step 2, you want to follow up if you don't get a response in the first 30 to 60 days, right? So a lot of times they'll try to stall, right? The bureaus will try to stall. They won't actually send you any proof or any verification. So what you want to do is you want to send a follow-up letter letting them know, like, look, I know the law. You guys are not abiding by the law. And if you don't reply to me in such and such amount of time, I'm going to be forced to take this further. And you just want to send in this letter so that you have proof for your following follow-ups, okay? And then the third thing, if neither of those work in the first, 30, 60, or 90 days, then you want to look into factually disputing things, right? Like I talked to you guys about in the beginning, send in the first debt validation letter, right? And then if they verify it, then you want to come back here and you want to start looking for errors on the credit report and looking for inaccuracies. This is going to be one of your best bets, right? But a lot of times you can just get things removed by sending in a debt validation letter, as long as you've frozen the secondary bureaus. So here is where I talk to you guys about freezing the secondary bureaus, right? Now, you want to freeze the secondary bureaus if you have negative items on your report and you're going to dispute them. And you really want to do this first before you actually start disputing with the bureaus and sending in the debt validation letters and stuff like that, right? Now, the secondary bureaus, everybody needs to go and opt out of these secondary bureaus because they house our information. And this is why when you send in a debt validation letter or you try to dispute something, it comes back and it says verified. It's because the bureaus are actually just going to these secondary bureaus and they just verifying the information. So some of these secondary bureaus are LexisNexis. You want to go to the website, opt out. And what's going to happen is they're going to send you a PIN to let you know that you're confirmed. And when you're ready to unfreeze your account, you can go ahead and use that PIN. Just call up and use that PIN and unfreeze it right away. Now, this is good for identity theft as well because nobody's really going to be allowed to apply for credit without you getting an alert. I remember I froze mine, and then when I went back and started applying for credit, they actually called me. The credit company called me like, hey, was this you that actually applied because you have a freeze on your account? So you want to go freeze these accounts because it's going to suppress your information from the main bureaus. CoreLogic, ARS, SageStream, they hold things like public records, repossessions, evictions, bankruptcies, collections, a lot of different personal information, even your criminal record, right? So I know a lot of people that might not be able to live in a certain area because of what is on their credit, what is on their criminal report, right? Maybe they got in trouble for selling weed when they were a young buck, and now this felony is stopping them from being able to live in a nice community, even though they don't do that stuff no more, right? Well, you can actually freeze some of these secondary bureaus, and it'll actually suppress that information from people when you go and apply for things. Now, not necessarily a job, but like if you want to go and get an apartment or a place to live, it'll suppress it from that. So, another thing that you want to do when you're fixing your credit is stop applying for new credit. You don't want to acquire any more inquiries, and you don't want to add any new credit, because you can add new credit if it's not going to pull your credit report. I'm not going to say that, because if you don't have any credit, the earlier you start building it, the better. So you can do that, but you don't really want to be going out here applying for stuff, because if your credit isn't all the way right, it's going to be hard for you to get approved anyway. And it's just going to slow down your credit repair process. Your score is going to keep dipping every time you apply for something. Your score literally dips every time you apply for something in the first place. So if your score is already low, and it's just going to dip. You don't want that. So now that you've cleaned your credit and cleaned all the negative items off of your credit, how do you build good credit? Well, the first step is getting new credit, right? So here's how. If you don't have any positive credit cards on your report, one of the first things you might want to do is go to your local credit union and get a secured credit card, right? If you don't have any positive credit. Now, the limits might ask you to put down $100, $200, and you're secure in the line. So like your limit might only be $200, right? But what's going to happen is after 6 months, they're going to unsecure the card, and they're going to give you a limit increase. And they might send you another card depending on who you bank with. So definitely go and get a secured card with the credit union. You want to start establishing a relationship with the credit union, because these are small banks that they only make money by basically giving you financing. You financing stuff. That's the only way they make money. They're not a huge bank. They don't do a bunch of advertising or anything like that. So they're much more willing to give you a big bag. That's why you want to establish a relationship with the local credit unions. You can do this with multiple credit unions. I'm a member of multiple credit unions, okay? And then you want to start nurturing your baby. Every line of credit that you got, you want to make sure you pay it all the way off. Now we restarting. We restarting from fresh, okay? So you want to pay off everything. You don't want to get jammed up. Make your payments on time. Pay down everything to zero. This is going to show the banks that you're not in need of money, but you damn sure know how to handle it and how to use it when it's available. Ask for a credit increase every single month. Some cards do this automatically. Discover, I know that there are a year. So now, when you go and apply for these cards online, right? I'm going to give y'all the hack. So you want to go do, first of all, if you're applying for Navy Federal is a very popular bank because they're very generous. They give out big bags, especially on the business side, but even on the personal side, I've seen people literally go to Navy Federal and get like a $20,000 card. Okay, so a limit, $20,000 limit on the personal side. So when you're doing this, you want to go and fill out the pre-approval forms or the pre-qualification forms, right? On each of these sites, you can go to discover.com, go to the pre-qualification, go to Navy Federal, same thing. If you're not a member of Navy Federal, I know a lot of people, they're giving away their pins for like $100. Like, you can hit me up. I'll get you in the Navy Federal. And also, you can just call. Just call. Don't be scared. Like, a lot of people be scared. Just call them and tell them that, like, look, your grandfather was in the military. You don't have his information, but you would like to become a member and start banking with them. They're going to let you in. So just do it. And then the same thing with American Express. Go ahead and fill out the pre-approval form on their website. See what you're approved for. And if you're not approved for anything besides a secure credit card, then I probably wouldn't do it. I would probably just go to my credit union so that I'm not necessarily wasting the inquiry on one of these cards, because these cards, a lot of them have good rewards and cash back if you can get the right card. And if they're going to start you at the secured line, it's kind of tough because you want a nice limit. So you want to get the secured line from, your local credit unions and stuff like that, and then come back, go to Discover and American Express and chase like that after that so that you can get a nice limit, okay? Some things that you can do right now to start improving your credit and adding positive payment history to your report is you can add trade lines. You can actually go to a website called Credit Strong, and you can actually buy credit that's going to report on your report. It's not expensive at all. I think the cheapest package is like I think 25 or 100, something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. Go to the website, Credit Strong, read everything. And if you need to add positive trade lines on your report, like positive credit lines on your report, it's definitely one that I recommend. Another one that I highly, 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 highly recommend is Rental Karma. Rental Karma, they will actually, like, if you pay rent somewhere, even like they will actually report your rent up to 4 years back. Okay, so you can actually get 4 years of age added onto your credit report by becoming a member of Rental Karma. I think you pay like the initial like $60 sign up fee. And what's dope is you can actually add on a spouse or whatever for like $20 one time. And it'll actually report from the day you sign up. It'll report every month that you pay rent. And like I said, it'll go back up to 4 years deep. They'll ask your landlord, did this person pay? Every month, they say yes, and it'll come up on your report the next month. Definitely, definitely good. A lot of times people need to add like an auto loan to the report. An installment loan, one of the ways you can do that is swap a lease, right? You can do this with bad credit. Some people have a car and they're leasing it and they're looking to get out of their lease, and you can actually go and take over the lease, right? And you know, if you're smart, like let's say you need an installment loan, like a car note on your report, you can just go get a cheap car, right? For like $100 a month. Well, not 100. They're going to be like $250, and then you put it on Turo. And you rent it out for $50 a day. Well, you only need to rent it out for like 5 days out of the week to pay the bill, right? So you got to do what you got to do. I'm not in your situation. I don't know where you're at, but I'm giving you everything. Another authorized user that you guys can look into is coastaltradelines.com. Now, what an authorized user trade line is it's a trade line or a credit card that's going to be reported on your report that's not yours, right? But you're going to get all the benefits of the positive history, the age, the limit, all of that stuff, right? That's going to be added to your report. So you can actually, if you don't have a friend or family member or business partner who has good credit and has a good card that'll allow you to get on, maybe they acting funny, you can go to these two websites and you can actually buy trade lines. You can go to coastaltradelines.com or you can go to tradelinesupply.com. Read everything, and you can actually go buy trade lines to add to your credit report to instantly boost your report, instantly boost your score, right? So that's heavy. So when you get added as an authorized user, this can help you establish many areas of your credit profile. It can help you establish age, credit utilization, also the number of accounts, and it may strengthen your payment history. So, to the bag now, right? I taught you everything that you need to learn about repairing your credit, and then I taught you about building it. Now that bag that I was talking about, right? That bag, that LLC bag, that business bag. What do you need to do to get your hands on that bag, right? The business credit. So, the first thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to come up with some type of side hustle. Like, what can you do? Like, can you sell perfume, makeup? Do you know e-commerce? Are you into real estate? Can you flip cars? Can you sell shoes? Can you sell products like e-commerce? Like, really, honestly, if you're watching this and you listen to this, there's so many things out there that you can be doing to make money on the side. And if you have only one stream of income right now, you bugging. You bugging. There's literally so many things out here that you could be doing. All it takes is you to sit down for like an hour a day for like 30 days to change your entire life by adding an extra stream of revenue. And a lot of times, it's not only one stream of revenue that you learn how to add when you learn these things. So like if you're really good at Amazon or you're really good at e-commerce, well, you not only can make revenue doing that, but you can teach other people that want to learn how to do it, because everybody wants their hand held. Everybody. Nobody wants to fail. So they want to just follow the footsteps of somebody that's already done it. Simple as that. All the money's in coaching. I'm going to tell y'all that now. Also, you can create a credit repair business, right? You can create a credit repair business. If you have good credit right now and you have good credit cards, you can even create a trade line business and actually start selling
different lines of trade lines to authorized users. Like let people jump on your credit card for $500 a month, $500 every 45 days. And, that's another stream of revenue. You ain't even have to do nothing besides just get their information. They ask you for usually their name and their birthday, sometimes the last four of their social. And that's it. And they're on that card. They're happy, you're happy, you making money. You need to figure out what your side hustle is so that when you create your LLC, you can actually start making deposits into the business bank account and stuff like that, right? And you get a little stream of revenue so you can start getting busy and start doing more things. So forming your LLC. What is an LLC and why do you need one? So an LLC is a limited liability corporation. It basically protects you as a business owner against people trying to come after your assets. So you're also going to get access to different tax breaks. It's a legal business that you can leverage to get money for. I mean, you want an LLC. Like if you don't have a business like an LLC or anything set up right now, you want to get one, and you want to get one today, right? So if you're not in Pennsylvania, you want to Google search how to register your LLC. In Pennsylvania, it's $125. You're going to get a certificate of formation and an EIN, right? And later on, you can get a certificate of good standings, and this is needed at some banks, especially some credit unions. They want the certificate of good standing. That's another $80, right? So what you need to register an LLC will be that'll get accepted. Okay. So some of the things that you need. So some of the things that you'll need to get yourself approved for business credit with your LLC is you need to get a business website. You also need to add a business phone number, and you need to get a business email, a professional email, not like, MikelHelpsPeople@gmail.com. No, it would have to be Mikel@MikelHelpsPeople.com, not the Gmail at the end, okay? So as soon as your LLC and your personal credit profile is looking nice, you should go to your bank immediately, right? Open a business checking account and start depositing profit in there to season it up for business credit. Even if you're not depositing profit in there like that, like you should at least be putting a couple $100 out of your paycheck in there, right? Because this is going to season it up for when you go and ask for money. Some of these banks that I'm going to be giving you guys at the end, that they don't even look at your credit report. They only look at your bank account. Okay? So that's very powerful. You want to make sure that you putting some money into that business checking account, okay? So, business credit. Why is it so sexy? Why does everybody want it? Why is it so beneficial? Because you get significantly larger limits. 60, 80, 100K. You get 0% interest for 12 to 18 months and no report to personal. So which means you can actually max out this credit card and it's not going to affect that 30% utilization. It's never going to mess with that, right? And a lot of these have like amazing reward points. Like they have a lot of great air mileage points. They have lodging points and cashback rewards. So it's super, super beneficial to get yourself some business credit cards. So a lot of these cards, they have sign-on bonuses for when you get started. Like, hey, look, spend $15,000 in the first 3 months. We'll give you $100,000 in reward points. That's a whole trip right there, okay? And if you don't have anything going on that's going to allow you to spend $15,000 in 3 months, then you want to look into something called manufacturer spending, where you learn how to actually spend money without really spending money. You're spending money so that you can make money. You can actually get these reward points and get the free trips and stuff like that. But if you have a business and your business is, you buying equipment, you doing things, you buying different things every month, you want to use these credit cards solely for the business, right? So that you can get these reward points, you can get this cash back. And basically, they're going to be paying you to use your own card. Now you can actually be buying stuff without your own money. Like this is literally all money that you won back, reward points. Okay? So what do you do with your new business credit, right? You can start investing into things like offices. You can start getting vehicles. You can get more equipment that you need. You know, you can start investing into marketing, advertising your brand, innovations. You can get more creative when you have this. You trying to tell me if you're sitting on $200,000 in business credit, you don't have the time and the space and the air to be creative? This is where you can get in your bag, right? You can go pay for seminars. You can pay for mentors. Whatever you need to do, you're going to be able to do it because you're not going to be stressed out about A, I'm not going to be able to pay my bills because you're using other people's money. And B, you're not going to be stressed out about it hurting your personal credit because business credit isn't going to be affecting your personal credit utilization. Right? So, like I said, I got 8 banks for you guys, right? 8 banks that you guys are going to be able to go to and get free money. Okay? Even if your credit is trash, I'm going to give you 4 personal banks that you can go get credit cards with right now if your credit is trash. And then I'm going to give you 4 banks that will give you business credit for your business right now, even if your credit is trash, okay? So before we go there, if you have any questions, you need any help with your credit, right? Go ahead and schedule a time to talk with me. The link is in my bio. If you're watching this on YouTube, the link will be in the description. Or you can just head right on over to www.thecreditbull.com, schedule a time to talk, and I'll see you there. So real quick before the bonus, I want to tell you guys about my 90-day credit rehab challenge. I'm actually going to be launching this in the next couple of days. I'm doing a pre-launch right now, right? And I'm going to tell you guys, I put everything into this. Everything that I know about fixing credit, building credit, leveraging credit is in here, guys. Is in here. So if you or anybody you know, right? Because we got to stop with the scarcity mindset. It's not just about you. Like, it's about people around you. Who can you affect? Who can you help? Like, think about this. If you are literally a walking person that knows how to do credit repair, think about the amount of people that you can affect. Think about how many people actually get hit with all of those inquiries, or how many people got hit during the pandemic and got collections. I'm seeing it. Imagine how many people you can help. That's how I think. It's not always about me because I know I'm going to be good. But I'm always thinking about how can I uplift the man next to me? How can I uplift people that I care about? Okay, so in this course, it's a 90-day credit rehab challenge. It's a course plus an ebook bundle, okay? Inside, I'm going to teach you how to remove collections, late payments, repos, medical bills, student loans, and much, much more, all to increase your credit score within 90 days, okay? So if you need a credit boost, you want to pre-order this, okay? So you don't got to listen to me.
Hey, so I had to take some time and let you guys know about how awesome the Credit Bull is. I'm telling you. So I recently reached out to him just to learn more about how I can make my credit better. And I'm telling you, ever since I started, I've been getting results. He makes things so simple, so easy to understand. And I've recently started my family. We have so many things that we have planned and that we want to do. And obviously, better credit is going to allow for better opportunities. So like I said, he's been making things so simple, so plain, and I've already been getting results. Things have already been taken off my report, and I'm just excited and pumped up to see what else he has to teach me. I'm telling you guys, if you want to really learn how to repair your credit, you need to reach out to the Credit Bull. Even if you just want him to do it for you, I'm telling you, he gets results like that. It's crazy. Check him out.
So that's one of the people that I've helped through my program. So I want to give you guys this special offer before the program actually goes live, right? I'm giving you guys a chance to pre-order. So as of right now, only for the first 8 people. Why am I doing this? Because my son's birthday is coming up in a few days, and he's turning 8, right? So for the first 8 people, what I'm going to do is, all these ebooks are coming out over the next few weeks, right? My 90-day credit rehab challenge, a course in an ebook, my bye-bye inquiries 24-hour removal guide. It's going to teach people how to remove inquiries in 24 hours. Also, my collection removal mastery. That's one of my favorites because I had a ton of collections, and I mastered how to remove them. And I'm going to show you exactly what I do to remove collections without any letters or anything like that. Another thing is, if your credit is completely trash and it's so, it's just so many negative items on there, so many accounts, you might want to perform a full credit sweep. So actually, I created an ebook teaching you exactly how to perform a full credit sweep, right? And then the big bang, I got an ebook called 250K in funding right, with a minimum of a 680 credit score. So I'm going to be teaching you guys how to get funding for your business, right? $250,000. Even if you have just a 680 credit score, right? You have to have at least a 680 credit score, right? And inside of that, I'm actually going to be dropping all 12 of the banks that you can go and get approved for right away, even if you don't have a 680 credit score. So I'm going to be giving you guys all of the banks that you need to go to in order to acquire that $250K, right? So altogether, this is a $1,300 value. I'm giving it away for the first 8 people for $97, guys, right? $97. So if you want to get access to this, definitely DM me, reach out to me on Instagram. Shoot me an Instagram on DM saying pre-order, and I will get this to you immediately. $97 one time. It's not a subscription. You're going to have access to all of these courses and ebooks for one time. $97. So here are the personal credit cards that you can get with bad credit and no hard inquiry. So one is the actually I threw in 5. I threw in one bonus. One is the X1 Visa credit card, right? X1 Visa credit card. These are all the personal cards. The next one is One Finance. The next is the Tomo card, TUMO. The next is the Jasper MasterCard. And then the last one is Deserve.edu MasterCard. This is for students or anybody that you might have an edu email you can still get access to. They usually want to give money to people who have, students and people who are inside of the school ecosystem. Okay? So now I'll give you 4 banks that you can go get business credit cards from the bag with bad credit. No personal guarantee. So the number one bank that everybody, if you're watching this right now and you have an LLC, you need to literally get off of this webinar, schedule a time to talk with me, and then head over to Divvy.com. Head over to Divvy.com. They do a soft pull. They're not going to do a hard pull. They're going to look at your business and your personal banking history. So you want to make sure that you have money in your business bank account and your personal bank account if you don't have one, right? The next thing is it reports to Dun & Bradstreet, which helps you to build your business credit score, okay? I'm not going to get into all that about Dun & Bradstreet in this video, but this is definitely a positive thing. The next bank is called Caped. They give you a $10,000 max limit, and it's a soft pull from Experian, not a hard pull, soft pull. The next bank is going to be Sam's Club. They actually offer a store card that basically anybody can get with the business. And then the next card they offer is a business MasterCard. You need at least a 78 business credit score for you to get access to that business MasterCard. It's a no PG MasterCard. If you don't have at least a 76 business credit score, but you have a good credit score personally, you can PG the card. And then the last one here is Clear Bank. It's big on e-com types of businesses. So if you have an e-commerce business, what they will check first is they're going to check your PayPal, they're going to check your Stripe, and then they're going to check your business bank accounts, okay? So those are 4 banks that you can actually go apply for with your LLC and get some funding, okay? So, I give you guys so much information. I don't know how much more information I can give you guys. Like I said, if you want to schedule a time to talk with me, hit the link, in the description, link in my bio, www.thecreditbull.com. And then if you want to take advantage of this pre-order offer, make sure that you send me a personal message saying pre-order, and I will get this over to you immediately as soon as you get in. And I look forward to helping you guys increase your credit score. Like, even if, this is your first time watching me, you want to stay tuned, make sure that you're paying attention to all the information. I tend to always give out a lot of free information, some that I should not be giving out for free. I definitely want you guys to take advantage of it. And if you need any help with anything on your credit report, www.thecreditbull.com. Schedule a time to talk, and let's get right.